Well, good morning, everyone. A blessed Sunday to you. You have found yourself in between the before and the after. This is the interlude.
We're going to start here with Dr. Peterman, who is been on the granddaddy himself, the organ. How are you this morning, Dr. Peterman?
I am very well, thank you.
Very well, yeah. It falls in the air. It's still bloody hot, but just
It was a little cooler this morning, but admittedly, I got up at 5:45, so it's it's a little cooler than.
So beautiful piece this morning. We had some
Instrumentalists.
instrumentalists. That's the word I was looking for. Beautiful music, though. You guys really just. I mean, it was awesome.
Often when Jennifer has instrumentalists join us, maybe for her offertory piece with the choir, I will try and factor them into other pieces. So actually, the prelude was just for organ, but I thought, why not arrange it for oboe, violin, and let's throw in some harpsichord as well. So I spent a little bit of time, instead of me playing the melody, I just gave it to them and made up some harmonies as well. It kind of keeps me on my toes a little bit.
It is. I mean, and I'll tell you that the music all summer long has been just wonderful. Really. I mean, it gets a little slow at times, but it's still been wonderful. And now we've started up, and you guys have really just might I say have killed it.
There was slaying happened.
Yes.
I think that's what the kids say nowadays.
The cool kids.
Yeah, well, maybe a little slow a Sunday or two, but we went pretty big all summer long because we had nonstop musical guests joining us. So I tried to always add them to as many pieces as possible, because whenever I do events, maybe outside the church, I would rather do more than just sit and play the one song that they hired me for. So can I play along with the entire show?
Yeah.
That's generally what happens. So I find that to be true with our guests as well. So I added, the harpsichord was already out, so I tuned it and we threw that in today.
I know, and I love talking about the harpsichord. For those of us that don't know, there's a little saying, little Latin written on the lid of that. What does that translate to?
Earthly things are fleeting.
Earthly. It's
Yeah.
one translation of it.
That's the general gist of it.
One other thing I was going to mention is that even fall is in the air, and Jennifer's right here. So Jennifer, come on in. Oh, I get a sandwich between the musicians. I feel special today. Osmosis maybe will provide some musical instrumentation in myself today. Anyway, fall's in the air. I was telling Dr. Peterman here, fall's in the air. It doesn't feel like it, but fall is in the air in the church. Concerts, music. I mean, and we were talking about how wonderful the music has been all summer long, but today was fantastic.
Well, thank you. Yes. It's always nice to have extra help in our worship services, but Jeremy is so good at, in addition to what we have planned, making extra music. So the prelude, communion, the hymns.
You guys just work so well together. I mean, really,
We do.
you kind of come up with the inspiration, and he really, it just works. It's like
Right.
It just takes one piece or one theme to get us rolling. Then it kind of cascades into a big old Sunday every week.
It's like build each other up, as we were talking today.
Exactly.
So it's so
Exactly.
wonderful. So you have the oboe here today. I mean, that's a beautiful instrument.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, yes.
And I don't know. I see this word oboe. I'm like, where does this word even come from? Oboe. Do we even know?
So the French.
Sorry, curveball.
Bois.
Oh my gosh, you're
Wow.
killing
Oh, we
me.
have it on your organ stuff
Oh
right
yes,
there.
there.
Hautbois.
Hautbois.
Wow,
Uh-huh.
interesting.
In French, the T is silent.
Well,
I mean,
I
there are
like to say
many different
hautbois.
pronunciations of it.
You
Yeah.
gotta
Hautbois.
end the wah. at the end.
Bois.
Yes.
And then Pat always
Always a treat.
so great
Yes,
on the
yes.
violin.
And strangely, oboe players have been a little scarce this year.
Oh,
Yeah, we usually have a lovely woman, Jenny, who
Mhm.
comes and plays with us, but she was unavailable. So I went through 6 oboists
wow.
and came up with Kaylee, who is a performance major at ASU and on oboe.
Okay.
So we're blessed to have her,
good to know.
and she'll be joining us for cantata.
Kids,
Wait.
if you're
Oh,
looking
okay.
for an instrument to play, oboe is in hot demand right now. So, what
Here's
do
the
we have?
cantata.
Oh,
Yes.
now you did a big reveal this week
I
with
did.
with your choir.
Here are the dates.
Oh goodness gracious! Star of Wonder.
Star of Wonder, yes.
This is-
December 14th and 15th. And it's very, very exciting. So much is going into it.
Okay, I don't want to, pry too much, but
Okay.
give us a little hint besides Star of Wonder.
Ooh, what to reveal? What do you?
Just a little snack to munch on until cantata gets here.
There's a lot of drums.
Oh,
Drums.
There's a lot of
Okay,
drums.
drums.
I don't
Interesting.
think she should say anymore, but
No.
there's a lot of
All right.
drums.
Drums.
They're
all
not
right.
drums that you
Drum.
expect.
Does that include timpanis
No.
too, or just drums?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
timpani.
Okay.
Oh,
All
of
right.
course.
All right.
Of
We
course,
shouldn't
of
rebuild
course.
it.
I'm
more
trying to
than that.
pry.
No,
I'm trying to pry.
but worth it. Every year is exciting,
It is
and
exciting.
this one is exciting as well.
They're I'm sure very fun to plan.
You know, they are fun to plan, but it's not. It's a community.
Yeah.
So many people in the church have helped. I mean, in addition to the choir, but musicians that come out and play that are members of the church, and members of the staff who aren't members of the music department, but also come and help. You included, and the AV
Small
team.
portion, yeah. Now, for those of us that don't know what a cantata is, what is that? Just in a nutshell.
Interesting. I think I looked it up one day because a lot of times cantatas are, there's the Passion of St. Matthew could be considered a cantata by Bach, but it's actually just a compilation of music that's put together.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
There
really
you
what
go.
a cantata
We're learning
is.
all sorts of new stuff today. This is the point of this interlude, to learn new stuff each morning.
Well, I mean, I majored in French, and which also implies Romance languages. So cantate, cantar, if you speak Spanish, means to
Cantare, to
sing. To sing.
Yes.
Okay.
And that also got me thinking about oboe. If we can revert back to oboe,
let's go
since
back
I
up.
major in French, au bois means high wood.
Oh,
High wood.
interesting.
Oboe.
Wow.
Au bois.
See, these
Yeah.
interesting word origins are
Yeah,
fascinating.
I was going to lose sleep tonight if I didn't interject that. Like, I wish I had.
Speaking of French,
Oh, okay.
we
Oh, yeah.
are going to.
Okay, you got it. Good.
I do. I brought the brochure. We're going to
Awesome.
France, and so the dates are May 12th to May 21st, 2025. It's not too late.
No,
If
if-
you'd like to join us, you do not have to be a singer.
Okay, good.
There are some musical opportunities. Jeremy will be playing the organ in some beautiful cathedrals. We're going to Paris. So,
City
there's
of Lights.
Yes, City of Lights, and I believe we don't have a formal tour to Notre Dame, but I do believe Notre Dame has been finished. Am I correct?
Finished enough, definitely to visit.
Yes. Of
Nice.
its restoration.
Perfect.
Right.
So
We're
you
going to
guys-
Normandy.
You guys did a trip last year, and you kind of did the same thing. I mean, it was a wonderful time. I heard you guys you saw a lot of musical places. And as you say, you don't have to be a musician or a person that plays anything. You just simply want to
Right. You don't
travel
even
with a
have
great
to
group of
be a
people.
member of the church. If I think some of the people who are going on the tour bring in some of their friends.
Oh, great.
So if you know somebody who'd like to travel with some people,
Okay.
it's a fun group.
Some fun people, right?
Yeah, it's a fun group. It's a fun tour.
So,
So the requirement is to be a person and fun.
Yeah.
and fun and walk.
And
Walk.
yeah, there is a lot of
Walking's
walking,
a-
maybe
is
about
a-
3 miles a day if you can.
That's not too bad. I mean, you really, when you're out there, you really want to get out and see. What's
And
going on.
sometimes if you can't walk 3 miles a day, we're probably going to be housed in a city center, so you could do something else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Correct.
or get a rascal.
Yeah.
One of the two. I mean, so you mentioned Normandy. So that a part of that is, I mean, really, I think is for some of our choir members, our veterans.
Yes.
And I'm assuming this is going to be a great draw to them because I'm not sure a lot of people have been to Normandy and know
Correct.
the history or the the significance of it just as time has passed.
Right.
But
We're going to Omaha Beach.
great.
And so I think it'll be really an impactful trip. So many different aspects. Last time when we did our trip, we finished with a boat tour, and we're doing the same thing
Oh,
out
fun.
in Paris.
Oh, good.
So it's really going to be such a wonderful time, and I hope the registration ends around 20th of October.
Something like
so
that.
if you're interested, it's on the website.
It is on the website. And,
Yes.
and we'll put it up on splash it up here on the screen.
Yay.
For the recording. But yeah, so interested. If you're interested in going, I urge you all to sign up. I heard many people come back from last year's trip saying that it was such a delightful time, and for you really, you had I saw a lot of photos and some video of you playing some really cool organs.
In Austria and Germany?
Yes.
Yes. And Prague. Yeah, that was a very memorable experience. a little Jennifer's laughing because I almost passed out at one of them. It was such a frightening experience. You get 30 minutes of practice, then do we're supposed to be a 30-minute concert. As I was being walked up to the stairwell, the fellow said, "Could you do 45 minutes instead?" So 30 minutes to prepare, then do a 45-minute recital on organ you've never seen before.
And not to mention that the stops, that's what these are. If you look at the organ, those white knobs, they were all in Czech.
Oh.
So
Hard to read the oboe one.
It was. They were mostly fluty. I was able to find that information, but there were so many nuances of the organ that you really can't anticipate unless you've had extensive practice on Baroque organs, which there are a few. I'm actually going to make a documentary on my trials and tribulations of that organ. I took a lot of pictures and made some videos for people who are guests who get to play on that organ just so they can prepare more, because all I could see on YouTube were pictures from about 40 feet away.
Oh,
so you can't really...
right up close.
Yeah, it's going to be right up close.
So look for that soon.
It's going to go viral.
Okay.
Yeah, well, while I'm doing my surgery and recovery, I'm going to make this video to give me something to do.
All right, so I'm going to step back a second. What's the difference between our organ and a Baroque organ?
Well, one major example is we have electronic pistons, so I can pull out all the knobs that I want to, set them, and then when I'm ready, I can just hit a button, then boom, they pop out whatever I need to.
Buttons are fantastic.
And with a tracker organ like that, everything is very manual, so you got to do everything with your hands. You have to physically pull out everything. And if you don't pull out the stop all the way, then not enough air will pass through, so it'll get a wheezy kind of sensation, which actually people write for that kind of.
I mean, this is not a slam, but it's like real organ playing almost. I mean,
that did sound like a slam.
It wasn't really.
Yes, it was real organ playing.
It was like digging a hole with a shovel versus like.
And then you feel the depth of each key. You have to really push down, especially the more coupling, the more things that you put onto each manual. Sometimes the weightier it gets.
Interesting.
So fast things you actually have to play a little bit slower.
Well, that is. Yeah. Sounds cool. I look forward to that thing. Well, it'll be on our YouTube channel whenever.
When
you
make my documentary.
And if you aren't subscribed to any of our social media accounts, I'm going to plug us here. We are at La Casa Family for all YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. We put out a lot of great content with these folks. So usually we have our offering piece posted up on our YouTube channel, which is what would we call it? The
YouTube channel?
The offering piece is always like we put a lot of emphasis into it. Just each offering piece each week has got a little.
Well, it's a message through song.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's a nice little quote. Yeah. I sometimes
Thanks
call
for saving me there.
extra vocal pieces. I call them word and song instead of saying special music or something like that. I think that's a nice kind of title that really encapsulates both the combination of music and the spoken or the sung word.
Yes. I mean, always I try and match everything, all the music to what's being preached or what the gospel text is. And sometimes the pastor has a different idea than I do, or sometimes we're right on track. Just for example, the closing hymn today, rejoice. That's all about what he emphasized in his sermon. This is cool.
And we'll just kind of behind the curtain here for a little bit. I mean,
sure.
You basically get when you're planning the sermon or the music and everything for each service. I mean, you're basically getting like a kind of an idea of what I'm doing. You don't really know necessarily what his sermon's going to be about.
Right.
So it's amazing, and I hope people at home see this. That often it is very tied together, especially that you're talking today.
Oh yes, and not only in this service, but also in the contemporary service. I know that Bill McKinnon also, same as I do, reads the scripture, contemplates it, thinks what are they trying to pull out of it, and that's why I said sometimes, sometimes
it's a little different.
Yep, exactly.
It's all praising the Lord. So.
Right. What's that one little answer for a children's message? If they say little kid says Jesus, you're like, yes.
The answer is always Jesus. Well, beautiful music today. If you're coming in for the 9:15, you guys are in for a treat. Literally, we have got harpsichord. Jennifer, you're playing a harpsichord today.
I am.
I mean, wonderful for prelude. It's awesome.
Well, thank you.
I love the sound of that.
Yeah, it's
plucked. It's plucked.
It is
plucked. Yes, as opposed to hammered like the piano.
Right. It's an elegant.
And actually, it can be unelegant. One of the things that you do with harpsichord is often a little classier and more pleasant to break the chords. So instead of playing a big chord all at once, you let
Roll
your
it,
fingers
yeah.
just kind of
Oh.
lazily play. Otherwise, it just sounds a little too harsh, don't you find?
Yeah,
So
yes.
you just
So I
break
break it
them a
up.
little bit.
Yep,
Yeah, you roll
yep,
them.
Yep.
It's beautiful to listen to, I will
Well,
say.
thank you.
Anyway, you guys are all in for a treat. Join us on that France tour. It is going to be amazing. Sign up on our website. Like I say, it'll be right somewhere here. Anyway, with that said, everybody have a blessed day. God bless you. We'll see you next time on the Interlude.